My name's Shauna Sallmen, and I'm from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, and I'm talking today about work I did with Eric Korpela from Space Sciences Lab at UC Berkeley, and many UWL undergraduate students have been involved in this work. So an extraterrestrial civilization might want to change the climate of a planet or light up the dark side of a tidally locked planet, and they could do so with a fleet of very large, very lightweight steerable mirrors. In the reference at the bottom, we considered the effects on transit light curves of an entire fleet of such mirrors and the potential detectability. But in this work, we are going to explore the orbital stability. Because these mirrors are so large, 1 kilometer square, and so lightweight, no more than 1,000 kilograms, radiation pressure is going to affect mirror orbits, and we wanted to explore which ones might be more fuel efficient and stable. We created a Python package using the REBOUND simulator in order to simulate mirror motions. In our simulations, we orient the mirrors to direct starlight towards the planet's center, sometimes for an entire mirror orbit, sometimes only when the mirror's on the night side of the planet. We placed Earth mass and Earth-sized planets at different places in the habitable zones of different types of main sequence stars. Our mirrors had different initial orbit sizes and orientations, but we always placed them in initially circular mirror orbits. And we continued the simulations until the mirrors crashed into the atmosphere, escaped, or survived for 1,000 initial mirror orbit periods. So everything I'm discussing is a trend, not a rule. When you compare mirrors orbiting planets around different types of stars, those orbiting dim red, low mass, main sequence stars are more likely to survive the full simulation. Here we have a mirror orbit trajectory. The blue circle is the planet's surface. The mirror starts with the purple dots and the trajectory goes from purple to yellow. 10 initial mirror orbit periods are shown, although this simulation survives 1,000 mirror orbits. And you can see that radiation pressure elongates the mirror orbits, but the mirror orbit direction starts to precess as well. And for these types of stars, there are not very many mirror orbits per planet year. So the radiation pressure direction is changing dramatically throughout the mirror orbit. And that, combined with the precession of these orbits, seems to help them survive the full simulation. In another trend, mirrors that are initially orbiting along the planet's day-night line are more likely to survive the full simulation. If we restrict ourselves to mirrors orbiting in the same plane as the planet orbits its star, then mirrors that orbit in the opposite direction to the planet are more likely to survive. On the left, we have a mirror that starts out orbiting the same direction as the planet, and it crashes in just under 20 orbits. In the middle, the simulation is identical, except the mirror starts out in the opposite direction, and this one survives a full 1,000 orbits. And on the right, for comparison, I've shown the first 20 orbits of this second simulation so that you can see it isn't quite a mirror image of the initial simulation and avoids crashing. In these simulations, in one case, the angular momentum transfer from the planet to the mirror increases the mirror's orbital angular momentum, and in the other, it decreases it. Finally, I want to point out that mirrors tend to have longer survival times if their radiation pressure is less important relative to the planet's gravity. And this will happen, for example, if the mirror is orbiting closer to their planet, so the planet's gravity is more important, or the planet is farther from their stars, so the radiation pressure is less important. Here's my contact information and our funding sources. And here are some references.